Hello followers and welcome back to Lividius Gaming. I believe this is episode 11 and today we're going to be finishing up the sheep cells. We're going to be discussing a few things towards the end of the video as well, and a few plans as well for Fretonia. So as you can see, I've been very busy with the sheep cells, and this has took almost a week to build. I've not finished it yet. We're going to be finishing it today, right in this episode. I still need to build the final cell. I have to put a few walls around still yet, and we need to clean up this corridor. They are the main objectives for today's episode, and we're also going to configure and set up a small control panel back at the front over there, just with some dispensers to hold shears and stuff for us. So that's what we really want today, and hopefully we can achieve that. So the first thing that we really need to do is build the final sheep cell. So we're just going to go ahead and start work on that, I guess, and we'll see where we go from there. Alright, so I dug the area out for this sheep cell, but we are going to have to dig this out because we're going to put a dirt base in here. And I hope I've got all the resources I need in chests around, but if we haven't, I can just go and pay a visit to our beloved storage room, which is another recently built thing as well. So yeah, so while we're doing this, really, the objective for the sheep cells is to give me obviously a source of wool, which is something that I have been lacking in this base, and I'm also going to be needing a large amount of wool for upcoming projects, for carpets and such. One of the more imminent projects that we really need to get done, and that's kind of loud, one of the more imminent projects we actually need to get done is a storage room, and we're going to be building the storage room at the stronghold base, which I've shown a couple of episodes back. I've got an idea about how I want to work the stronghold, and the storage room is going to be over there. I really need it because I'm just getting resources kind of everywhere, and that small storage room has certainly helped, but even that is beginning to get full now, so that's going to be something I'm just going to have to watch, I guess, and we're going to have to get that built fairly soon. And hopefully building that will solve my storage issues. So that's going to be one of the upcoming projects. What I'm going to talk to you about at the end of the video is a big off-camera project, which I'm going to be doing above this base on the surface. And I think they're the only real projects I have going right now, to be honest, because I've been quite quiet on projects, really. Obviously, there's not much I can do now. I am gearing up for 1.5. A lot of the redstone features will probably mess around with on here in that update, is what I imagine we'll do. I hope I've dug this wide enough. A problem I ended up finding was that I've actually bumped into a cave system behind this and the ravine. There's actually a ravine over there as well, which is not the most ideal of situations for sure. I'm sorry I keep turning the lights out on you here, but poor torch placement, I guess. So put you there, and put you there. Put those across the back. I'm just making it dark again by doing this, but needs to be done. Let's put you here, and now I need my slabs. I don't actually have a crafting table on me, but I am going to need one, so we can make a crafting bench, stick it down there. Normally I use my portable workbench that I have available to me in my role on the server, which is really handy to have a portable workbench around. And normally I use that, and obviously on recording I don't have access to the chat window, which means I don't have access to the commands, which can be a little awkward, to say the least. Alright, so let's put you there, I'll put some lights up. We're going to need a water stream. Do I have my buckets on me? No, but we're going to need a water stream through there, just like this one here. So we need to really build the next layer, I guess. I do have my glass on me, so we can do that with ease. Put the glass down, just like that, and then the dispensers are going to go there. So we can put the, actually I don't want the dirt at the back, I want the pine wood at the back, just like that, and then I want the dirt like that. Then we can do this, alternating with glass. The whole idea with the glass is to help spread grass, which is what sheep need to eat. They can't eat dirt, so we have to use glass to spread the grass. Say that 10 times fast. Alright, so we've got that. I'm just using this one as reference more than anything. Now we need to build the roof on this thing and then hook up the wiring, which is going to be the last thing that we're going to do. The wiring on one of these things is relatively simple. It's just mainly one wire. If anything, it's just one wire. Oops. So let's bring you across here. Put all of this right there. Let's clean this up. And yeah, it only needs to be too high, really. It doesn't need to be any higher than that for sure. Oh, 6 slabs, perfect. So let's pop you here. Let's get you. Let's bring you here. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. We want these slabs. That fell down there, so it moves. There we go. We're going to need a button right there on that central bit, but now we really need to rig up the dispensers, and I need to get the water current going. And we're also, while we're going over there, I'm going to attempt to try and make 4 buckets, and I'm hoping I have enough iron ingots. I do, just. Okay, that's good. So these sheep cells will hopefully hold around 15 sheep at full capacity, which will give me a good supply of wool when I need it. So I got the 4 water currents there. Let me see, I need the string for sure for the bows in the dispensers. I've got my redstone. I also need 1 more bucket wherever I left those. Huh, they're somewhere around here. All these chests. There we go. They make it a little complicated to see everything, that's for sure. Okay, so let's make the dispensers. So these rely on water and dispensers, making the sheep come towards the front for shearing. You stand here on the platform, you push this button, and basically they flow out. And this is based off a design by Exuma, I believe is how you pronounce it. Another Minecraft YouTuber who makes some cool redstone stuff. Right, so I need bows for a dispenser, that's it. I'm going to need some planks anyway, so it's not like it's going to be a waste. I went with spruce on this design mainly because I had a load of spruce left for my prior project in the mushroom farm, and it's quite fitting, so I did pine. That's only going to give me room for 2 bows. Ooh. Well, let's drop you for right now, and I could also drop you for right now, just until I can get the, there we go, just until I can get the dispenser hooked up, at least, like so. We're going to need 4 dispensers. I know I put 3, I can go back and do 4 like that. Oops, wrong way around. Dispenser, so another dispenser. Last but not least, there we go. Now I can drop off these 4 dispensers at the back, like so. And now I'm going to eat my baked potato and drop the water buckets off. This has been quite expensive on iron, I must admit. The fact that the iron has been... Well, I had a load of iron from the beacon project, which I don't believe I've shown yet, but I needed a lot of iron for that as well. So my iron supply did get fairly depleted, but I've replenished it now after some very sizable donations, which helped me a lot. Let's put the grass in there. I think I'm pretty much done with this in terms of what I really want to do with it. Just put a light up there for now. I'm going to take this down and just climb up here using... Oh yeah, it's half slabs, isn't it? Well, let's just use this ender pearl to get up here, just for convenience, really. So, I need to layer the redstone on here. I don't have a lot of ender pearls, that's the problem with these things. Oops. The ender pearls, I find, because we don't have an ender, they're in pretty short supply. I wish we had enderman spawners, that's for sure. So we needed to make sure... Oh, it was... I undid the glass here, it should be like that. There. And now we need to just rig up the wire to where eventually is going to be a button, which is going to be right over there. Now I should, keyword should, have some torches, but I don't appear to have any right now, so let's make some. Need torches for lighting so that the grass spreads, and if we do that there and there, that will also prevent monsters spawning as well. So with that done, now we just need the button. Did I leave a way out of this one? No, I blocked it off. So I've kind of just undone myself here anyway, because we needed to dig this out. So that I could get through. Let's do the glass panes while we're here. I don't think 6 is going to be enough. I believe it's 7 that we require. Yeah, it's 7, so I can always make some more. Got this workbench right here, so why not? 16 glass panes. Let's put that down, and I'll close all that up later. It's not important right now. That's what we're going to be doing shortly. How much dirt do I have left? Not a whole lot, by the looks of things. I don't know whether I left some in a chest. I've got a stack and a half. It's going to be tight for sure. Did I leave any in any chests? Well, I can always go grab some more if I need to. So, button. That was it, wasn't it? Stone. Let's rig this up and get the button going. Now, I'm not sure whether to do a time-lapse or a montage for this, or maybe even a bit of both. I don't know. Let's just make sure that that's working. Sure is. So that's everything I wanted to know in terms of that. Let's get the dirt at the ready. Let's pick you up so that you're out of the way. So what we really need to do now is get this corridor cleaned up, because obviously now the sheep cells are done, and I'll add in the sheep later off camera, but now that these are done, we need to make sure that the area is left tidy and doesn't look like a mess like it does right now. I did leave some stone over here to smelt earlier, so hopefully, yeah, it's all done. Been using blaze rods now since we had the blaze farm. I have some more left over, but 4 stacks should cover us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to time-lapse this part of me tidying up the base right here for the sheep cells, and then what we'll do is when we get back, we will look at a configuration for a control panel to help us shear the sheep, and we're going to put that here and here. Okay, so time-lapse begin now. And I'm back. So I've cleaned this up mostly, to an extent. I've cleaned up as much as I can. There's still a bit left to do in terms of letting the grass spread down, and I'm also going to put some lights in, because I didn't realise how dark it was down here without actual lights in the floor or ceiling. So we're going to put in some floor lights, and I also need to patch this up right here, but as you can see, the main design of it is coming together now, which is what I'm really happy about. So these are the sheep cells, and I will fill and populate these off camera as I see fit with the different colours. And I haven't put up all the item frames yet, but I'll do that later. But what I really want to work on right now is the configuration panel, which we're going to have across these. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is this right here is going to have to go. It's just got to go. And I'm going to bring smooth stone back here. Right now, at least, anyway. I'm going to bring some smooth stone back here. I know I chopped some of that out. I'll patch that up later, but I want to chop these out. And I haven't got a whole lot of room, so we're going to have to try and manage on as little room as possible, really. I have plenty of stone, so I'm just going to make this stone bricks. And let's just fill all of this in. Whoops, get out of here. So we've got this sort of selector panel, if you will, right here. So what do we actually need on the panel? Well, we need shears. So we're going to have a dispenser with a button with shears on it. So I would like to make the dispenser right here and the button right there. Now, does a dispenser get powered by a button when it is right next to it? Something I've never really tried. So let's pop the button. Whoops, that's not a button. That, however, is. We might use a wooden button later, so it actually looks more like what we're actually trying to make. So let's make a bow. Why don't I make 12 sticks? We only need... It's because I'm so used to it now. There's that crafting bench that I'm actually trying to do that, so... Let's do this and follow it up with this. Get you out. I don't know why I talk to myself crafting like this. I don't do it off camera. Don't worry, I'm not going insane or anything. Just need this dispenser. Let's collect all of these up. So does that get powered? Yes, it does. So in here we're going to have shears. And I do have some leather left, which is good because I can put an item frame on it indicating what it contains. So we can put this here, and what we can actually do is I have a pair of shears lying around that are nearly broken. If I put that in there and I open that, what's going to happen is the shears are going to pop out so that I can use them. And we'll put 9 pairs of shears in that dispenser. We aren't going to need a coloured wool dispenser. We are going to need wheat. We're going to need a wheat then again, a wheat dispenser wouldn't be that useful. I would prefer a wheat chest, I think, instead. And what we'll do probably in 1.5 is we'll hook up a lamp to this to show when it's empty or full. But it might be hard to do with the room that we've got. So I'll think about that one. So we need a chest in here, if we can get one in. Which means that they're going to have a stone brick right there, and then we'll put a chest in there with wheat in it. I think a full chest of wheat, we don't need to make it a double chest or anything fancy like that. That should cover it. So we have this rigged up. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to put on this side yet, but I do want to get rid of it so that we don't have that cobble sticking out. So I'll think about what I want to put on there. I'm going to put some indicator lamps, I think, above this as well. Let's patch this up. Let's see, cobble. So if we can get all of this looking ship shape again, we'll be moving in the right direction. Let's pop you there. So I'll rig up that chest and bring over some wheat from the cow farm later. I'm actually going to bring along some of the lamps. I do have redstone over at the furnace room, and we will do that as well. I might get some dies over here as well, potentially, and put those in a chest, some different dies, just in case we need any dies, because typically you would find them where the dyed sheep are. So we'll probably put those over here as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the camera, and I'm going to get the lamps in, and I'm going to hopefully spread some of the grass, get the remaining item frames done, get the sheep in, dye the sheep, and sort out the chest. So I've got a fair bit to do off camera, but after that we're going to have a bit of a ramble time, and I'll talk to you about some of the different things that have been going on lately and what's coming up for me and other things on the server. So I will be right back, guys. Okay guys, so now we're at the point in this episode where I'm going to be having a bit of a ramble and talking about everything that has been going on lately with the Lividius Gaming server. There's been a lot going on these past couple of days. I was surprised actually at how much has changed. As you can see, I've put in the sheep into the cells now, and I declare this project pretty much finished. I've still got to tidy up some bits with the chests around here and such, but it's not a major thing. I could do that any time. So the first thing that I really want to talk about is a secret project that I am working on. Now I'm not going to reveal it, so if you were thinking I was going to reveal it, then that's not going to be happening. But this project will... well, it's so large, it's going to take an incredibly long time to do, and I imagine many of the members find it. So if you do happen to find it, please don't share it with other members. I want to keep it a secret, for now at least. But it involves me taking my work down here to the surface, and it's a big building project, and it has redstone in it. Well, it will have in 1.5, there's building to it. It contains pretty much everything that we can do in the vanilla game, which is really, really exciting, and that will be something to look forward to. It's going to take me a long time to do it, so don't expect a video on it anytime soon, but that doesn't mean Lividius Gaming is going anywhere. It just means that you won't see that project, and I'll be doing a few other things around my base here and at the stronghold, which brings me on to my next point. In episode 11 we are going to be working on the storage room for the stronghold, where I'm going to store all of my items across all my bases, because I'm getting to the point where I desperately need to store everything out of the way now. To give you a few hints about the secret projects, I'm hoping that it's going to put a dent into my cobblestone supply, as I have so much cobble now, it's pretty much crazy, and hopefully it will help me shift some of this cobble and find a productive way of using it. So that's the only hint you're getting. You'll probably see previews of it over the coming months, I'm guessing. It's going to be one of them kind of projects that's going to take a while. So furthermore on from that, I brought all of these stuff together here, and I want to run through this book, the handbook, and we've read these. I've got another handbook there. I want to read through this one, and there is also the Wizard's Guide in my backpack, which I will pull out in a minute. So this is the handbook. This is the handbook for the server. This was recently introduced by XD Evil Monkey, the owner of the server, and I found this to be a real help to me, and I want to make sure that all users who at least watch my videos, and hopefully any new users who watch my videos, get this message across. We found as staff that there was a big issue with players not entirely knowing different things. So we put together this handbook, and every new user receives it. If you want to get one yourself and you're an existing player, type / and then RB and then 1, and this will give you the handbook. And basically what it explains is the rules of the server, the staff, the server features, the specifications, and the policy. So these are the rules. Most of these you will already know by now. Stuff like spam, mods, hacks, respect, griefing and raiding are allowed. Please use private messages as much as possible for help, particularly. Maturity, you know, it's just the key stuff that you would expect. Imagine if you were in a room in real life with a lot of different people. Say, for those of you who are at school, in your school hall, when you're having an assembly or something, I don't know how they have it in America, but an assembly of people, you would behave like this, apart from obviously the mods and the hacks and the spam, and the griefing and the raiding, but be mature, you know, and be polite, you know, it's not hard, manners don't cost anything, and it really helps us out because it makes our job easier, and it makes this area and this community a lot more friendly and welcoming to new players, and makes existing players want to play on the server more. So that's just something to talk about. I don't want to bring this up a lot because it's a very, very minor issue, but we felt that it needed to be raised. So the staff, I'm not going to run through all of these really, because this isn't actually an out-of-date book I think now, but the server owners are as is. We've got a head administrator now and a set of administrators. RW101 has since left, but I will talk about that later in the episode. I'm head mod. We have currently 2 moderators, but that's actually also changed. A lot of this has changed since then, so this is kind of out of date, so it's not really that important. You can see all our tags in the chat. So these are some of the server features. We have jobs, a bounty and assassin thing, so you can set people on a list if they've done something to you. MC, MMO are these level things. I don't fully understand them properly, but I know from the mining you get double drops eventually, so that's something to look forward to. There's various different ones. You can PvP, grief and raid. There are specific rules on this, and they will be explained more clearly on the website. I'm not going to go through them now because this video will be an incredibly long video. So there's events that go off on the server, as I've discussed throughout my videos. We have a new spells plugin which I'm going to look at with the Wizard's Handbook shortly. We have Hunger Games now if you want to take part in that. I did a video on that, episode 8. We have factions, so you can play with other people in a faction, and have homes built together and such. I'm actually in a faction myself, but this is just a private one. I have no desire to be in a faction at this time. This is just a private one to prevent me from being griefed, basically. We have a mob arena. The mob arena is where you fight against mobs. Basically that's all it is, and you go through different waves of mobs and you see how long you last to win prizes. We have a lottery where you can win in-game currency. I think it's something like 1 silver for a ticket. Inquire with a member of staff about how to buy that. We have portcullis gates at the castle, kind of insignificant really in the main server features, but it's just a little cool addition. We have a full economy with copper and silver being used as the currency. 100 copper equals 1 silver, and you can get copper through various different tasks, which I'll explain more on the website. So these are the server specs. If you really, really want to check them out, then you can go on the website. They are all listed there. But here is the page. I'll let you have a read of that for a moment. You can pause the video if you're really, really interested. This is a good standard of server if you're interested in making your own. Corsair RAM. That's really good RAM. So this is the server policy. Some people we've had issues with in the past with this policy. So now everybody has a copy of it, even if you're not part of the website. So there's no excuse really for moaning about the policy, because that's what it is. This is ran as a business. Evil Monkey does run this as a business. So there is a server policy, as you would find with every business. There's like a company policy. Not abiding by it can result in bans or further punishment or further action to be taken. Just a standard practice of any sort of business, because at the end of the day he is putting his own money into this and he is earning from this through donations and stuff to keep this community going. So we have to have a policy to keep it all in control. The policy is something that we very, very rarely have an issue with. Certainly since I've been on the server actively, we have only had 1 incident, and that was a very, very rare incident, which I will not discuss because I'm not obliged to discuss. But it's something that we take very, very seriously on the server, and it's something that we feel is important that needs to be mentioned. So I would grab a copy of this handbook. Remember, RB get 1, and I'd have a read of this yourself in detail, just to make sure that you're clear on everything that we offer here and all the rules and such. Kind of a negative thing to talk about, but it was something that we actually needed to talk about, and I'm glad we've got it out of the way. Hopefully I won't have to bring it up again. I don't want to kind of sound all teacherish here, but it's just stuff that we have to obey, just so that we don't have major issues and we don't end up with people giving us a bad name and such. So let's see if there's any slimes in here. This place, man, it gets filled with slimes 24/7, and you get occasional mobs in here as well, and not Not brilliant, but I can cope with it. So, the next thing that we really need to talk about is the spells plugin, which is a bit more exciting, for sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab my handbook out of my backpack, so I will be right back. Okay, so I have the handbook right here, the Wizard's Companion. This explains about the spells plugin, and this tells you over the different ranks what you can do. With the Wizard's Companion, you will see the spells that you are given by the High Council. So we have a spells plugin, so you can cast different spells. I've seen them. I've attempted to do it myself, but struggled, to be absolutely honest. But there's some pretty cool stuff you can do. You can pelt foes with snowballs and arrows and stuff. Jump around, amongst many other different things. I will not reveal too much about them. I'll let you get really into it yourself, rather than me explaining all about them. But basically, the peasant has the help, which is used to get help on a spell, list, to list your spells, bind, which binds them to a wand, which is a stick, and volley to launch magical arrows. We've got fireballs, combustions, disarms. I'm gonna, there's even an ender chest stuff here, which I'm quite interested in looking at. So then you get the resident commands, the knight commands, the bishop commands, and then the lord, the warlord, and then that is everything. Anything above warlord, which is overlord and staff, I believe, get everything. These spells are limited to your rank. Please do not ask for new ones. To gain new spells, purchase a rank from the store. So this is the store on the website, which you can look at to buy a rank, which is basically donating to the server. You are trusted to use this sensibly. Any abuse will lead to suspension of your casting abilities. So if you see a player bullying someone over magic or with magic, please screenshot it and submit a ticket on the help desk on the website. So that will all be in the description to do that. We have not had an incident of this yet, so I'm pretty pleased about that. And you also gain the spells from the lower ranks. If you say, I don't know, buy warlord, you will get everything. All of these different things. So that was just a quick thing to run over, not major, but you know, I'll let you have a play around with the Wizard's Companion and the spells. To get the Wizard's Companion book, type /RBGet2. All the stuff for this will be in the description on how to type these different things in. What are you doing there? But yeah, you can check that out for yourself, and I hope you have a lot of fun with the spells plugin. So, coming up now, I want to look at some of the changes at the spawn. So I will head over to spawn and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back at spawn. We've had a number of changes at spawn. This is what we mean by spell abuse, just stuff like this, putting fires around. Are these anvils publicly usable? They are, so you've got some public anvils there. The first thing that you will notice is this rather suspicious looking crowd of villagers that all stare at you at the same time, which is kind of freaky, and we'll get to those in a minute. So this was fixed. This was a long-standing bug with the nether slabs. We have since fixed this, so that's all done. You have some warps here, so you can go and explore these, and there's a mini parkour, which I believe has still been there before, but something to check out nonetheless. So these villagers are part of some trading. These are custom trades that you can do with these villagers for different items. So this guy is regular blocks. So 3 emeralds for 64 glass, an emerald for 64 dirt, and you get all these different combinations. Now the 6 emeralds for 64 bricks I think is a pretty good deal. So you have all the different wood, valuable items such as coal, diamonds, and all these fancy different things. Armor and tools, I wonder what does he offer? I'm intrigued. Is it all non-enchanted stuff? Yeah, it's just all non-enchanted iron stuff. So you've got meat, vegetables, other food, and valuable blocks. So 7 emeralds for a diamond block. This is an exchange if you don't have a crafting bench on you or have a workbench plugin command. So there's a couple of things to check out there. I would highly encourage you to check out these villagers. They are here for a reason. And if you have some emeralds on you, then definitely worth a spend. So this is our staff and friends. Not sure who the zombie head is, but these are all the staff on the server and some close friends of the server. So here I am right here. That's my head, and these are all the different heads. These are the owners at the top, and there's a mixture of staff and I believe overlord in here is what I believe. I'm not entirely sure on that one. So the buildings haven't really changed that much. They're still the same. There was an AFK train right there with circular stone bricks, but that looks to have gone. I'm not entirely sure if that build was allowed or not, but it's gone now. So I presume it wasn't. We've got the portal to the nether there. I've already been around the spawn once, so I'm not going to go around it again in full detail as I did last time. But we have a public enchanter there, ender chests and such. It's to be getting dark. You have all the inside gear, and we can just have a potato, and then we will check out here. So here is a reminder if you're unsure of my present house, if you want to give me a gift or a book that could be read out on the show. Lots of stuff in here right now that I've not emptied yet. But yeah, mostly sand. Thanks Excalibur for the sand. Nice load of little shops and such around. I don't think this ever gets used. I've never ever seen anybody actually fish in here. I've never seen that. Something maybe to look into really, but then again fishing is pretty boring anyway. So I don't know on that one really. But yeah, they cover the spawn changes. There's not a whole lot more in terms of spawn to look at. So I think what we'll do now is we will head back to our base. And I've got a few more things to talk about. Including a new world, which will be available soon. In fact, why don't we talk about it here? Make a change to what we would normally talk about. So there is a new world which is heavily under construction yet. It uses a custom terrain generator, which is really exciting. It gives you access to some of the rarer to find blocks like the circular stone bricks. And I believe it's called Dandaroch or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it yet, but it's a magical town to go with the spells plugin. Monkey generated this custom world for us, and I've only briefly checked it out yet. I don't believe that there's a public warp to it yet, but they're working very hard to build a magical town, and you can build a base out there if you really, really want to. Yeah, there doesn't look to be a warp around here anywhere. Maybe in here. To the Hunger Games, to the Wilderness, the Nether, downtown. No, there isn't a warp yet. So, yeah, here it is. Read the books again. But yeah, that's something new to look forward to. I will do a tour in a future episode of that world when the town is finished and there's a proper warp set up. So we can do that a little later. So, yeah, that pretty much covers the spawn changes on the new world. So I'm going to head back now to my base and we will continue our talk there. Alright guys, we're back up here in my base at the storage room, or the temporary storage room, and I want to read to you a little, I wouldn't say a poem, but this little rhyme that was sent to me in my mailbox, which is to do with this extraordinary amount of sand that I ended up with. And this was written by Excalibur 1. He is a staff member on the server, a new staff member, and I thought it was kind of funny, so it's kind of like the book for this episode. So, empty your mailbox and feel the sands beneath your toes. Toes? You don't have any toes, let alone fingers. Wait, where am I? Who am I? Have I been deceived? Is it Christmas Eve? Oh, now I perceive. I am Steve. Copyright 2013, all rights reserved. I just thought it was quite funny, a little short rhyme. I've noticed Excalibur has got a good forte for making little poems and rhymes and such, so definitely a nice little way to discuss this end of this episode. Lastly, but certainly not least, I just want to give a brief talk over staff leaving. Last week, I don't remember which day it was, I think it was Friday or Thursday, we ended up with a close member of the team, Rowan, known as RW101, leaving us to move on to pastures new. We wish him all the best. I just want to end the episode here with a thank you to his services over the past year or so. Certainly that I've been on the server, he's always been here and he's always been really helpful, but he has just not been able to get the time anymore to do it. Now there are other staff as well that have left, including JJ, who also left, unfortunately. Three Tail has also left, and a number of other staff. I apologise if I didn't mention you there, But yeah, there's been a number of close members of the team leaving lately to do new things or lack of time or such, moving on to pastures new, and we wish them all the best. Good luck, guys. Thank you for all of your services. You've been great. It was, I know, an emotional day for some when Rowan left, particularly, as well as when the others left. It was quite an emotional time for some people because they felt like they got close to Rowan, mainly because he was a friendly character and always somebody that you could have a nice chat with, certainly from what I found of him. I rate him very highly as a person. All the staff I rate very highly. And I wish him the best along with all the other staff. I will be getting involved with some of the other staff's new projects and doing videos and such on that, but for now Rowan is now a VIP. If you knew Rowan, then I'm sure that you have already spoken to him and wished him well. If you haven't, then perhaps you might want to do that. Certainly here I wish him well with anything he does in the future, and he's always welcome on the server. So that pretty much covers today's ramble, really. In the next episode we're going to be looking at the storage room. We might get a look at the new world, I'm not entirely sure, and we're also going to check out the mall as well, the new mall edition. The reason I didn't talk about it this episode is I thought that it was getting kind of long, and we've kind of spoken for a long while, and I don't want you getting bored because I've not actually really done anything. Just a lot of things to talk about, really, but I hope you've enjoyed the episode nonetheless. The sheep cells are now complete, so I'm going to return to working on my secret project, which I'm really looking forward to getting into, and I will see you next time. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you later, and have a good day.